Sam,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Good, yeah. Good. How'd that feel?
Words can't describe how I'm feeling right now. I feel like I'm on cloud nine.
I mean, it's been a few minutes since your performance. How'd you feel about that?
Feel really good. Honestly, it's just listening, having a game plan and executing it. And I think that's what I did today. Coach told me that I was going to get the finish. And I just had to follow the game plan. That's it.
What was the game plan?
Wrestling heavy. Take her down, staying away from her right hand, circling, moving in, and just being just a freight train, just moving forward and making sure that I'm really, really heavy on the hips and just attacking on the ground and just overwhelming her.
Do you think that was probably your best performance of your career?
Yeah, probably. I got the finish, so yeah, probably.
Awesome. This was a quick turnaround. Was that on purpose?
I mean, I think Safe has a really good execution, and he kind of saw that I was already ready to go. Came back off of the Estella win, and I was just ready to go. So why stop something that's moving so fast and just have really good momentum?
Yeah. So this is your second fight at Fortis. I mean, is that the best move you've made in your career?
Yeah. By far, I thank God every single day that I made that decision. These guys saved my career, and I'm so thankful to be where I'm at, and I'm just excited for what's next. I'm just taking it day by day and doing whatever Coach Safe tells me to do. It's really all I care about.
You alluded to it a little bit in your pre-fight interviews. There was toxicity at your old gym. What was that?
Yeah, that's in the past. I'm not focused on the past. I'm living in the present, living in the future. So I'm just excited for what's kind of next, and that's really all I care about. Fortis is my home, and I'm excited to be there. I've got the best coaches in the world, so that's it.
Awesome. They're going to Texas twice in a row. Are you trying to hop on any of those cards?
Hey, like I said before, whatever Coach Safe wants me to do, I'm down to do it. So, if that means fighting in Dallas, I'm down to do that because that's where my family is. That's where I've got, a big crowd. So I'd be more than happy to, fight every single weekend if I could. I love to be in that cage. It's like the only thing that really makes me happy. So, yeah, I'm down. I'm down to fight in Texas.
And finally for me, fight with Vanessa Demopolis. I know we talked about that.
Yeah.
I know it's a fight that you want. Is that a fight that it's going to happen, right?
Yeah, probably. What I'm really excited about is 1 month away from here, Jen, my training partner, fights Demopolis. So I feel like she's going to whoop her ass, and then eventually down the line I'll fight Demopolis and whoop her ass. So I was, that fight in LFA, I was dominating the first 3 rounds and then just got caught because I was stupid. I went against the game plan. So I won't make that decision or make that mistake again.
Has it been fun training Jen again?
Oh my gosh, yeah, Jen is so awesome. She's so much like me that that's why we get along so well, is because whenever we're training, it's like down to business. We're like trying to kill each other and loving every minute of it. But then once training's over, we're like best of friends. So it's really cool. She's like a really awesome person. I couldn't ask for a better training partner.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
I think it was at the end of round 1 when you broke free. I think it was a left standing elbow that gave her the big hematoma at the top of her head. Did you sense that was kind of the turning point in the fight? Like that might have kind of broken her?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that she's tough. Elise is really tough. I don't think that one elbow or one punch was gonna break her necessarily. I think it was just the overwhelming flurry of just pouring it on her and laying it on her as much as possible. But yeah, I felt whenever I was going to break off in the clinch, off the cage, I knew that elbow was going to be there. So I was like, let me just throw this thing and hopefully I can get a cut. But a hematoma is pretty good too.
Then you're finding a lot of success taking her down. I think it was the body lock. And even the commentators were saying why isn't, they were surprised that Elise wasn't making the adjustments in there because they could see it coming and they assumed she could see it coming and then you could. So were you surprised that she didn't make any adjustments in there?
Yeah, I mean, her coaches are doing whatever they're doing, but yeah, we have a game plan, and chain wrestling is a big part of that. So, even if she was going to defend one takedown, I don't care, because I'm getting either the second or the third or the fourth. So it's kind of hard to stop that onslaught.
And finally, they showed your corner cam between rounds 2 and 3, and they showed Safe here saying, like, you just got to go get the finish right now. You got the finish. Last week, we heard Safe say, Ryan, get him off, go submit him, and that's exactly what happened. So what's clicking in the gym right now that Safe can just say something and then it just happens?
It's just listening. It's honestly, it just comes down to trusting your coach. And, you know, my coaches, I trust both of them. Like, I don't know, if they told me to jump off a cliff, I'd be like, that's probably the right decision. Somebody should do it. So, yeah, I trust those guys, and I'll do anything that they say.
Maybe it comes down to that trust and then the confidence that they have in you. Does some of that wear off on you? Because it felt like you and that fight, almost like you just needed to believe yourself that you had what it took to be able to kind of finish her out there. Is that the sort of stuff that you're getting from Safe and just maybe finding within yourself as you've progressed in your career?
Yeah, I think you couldn't have said it any better. You know, whenever I first stepped into Fortis, I really struggled with confidence and hesitation, and that was a big one. And Coach Safe has really worked with me on that, and just, you know, instilling that, hey, you need to believe in yourself because you are good, and stop with any doubt. Like, so that was, you know, a big part of the game plan, a big part of training, and I think that, like, I've just absorbed that from him. So yeah, I'm extremely grateful.
You talked a little bit about the elbows. Was that a big focus of this camp, or is that something that you've sort of always had, or has it gotten better? Because like you said, you damaged her early on with the elbow, and then you kind of finished her off with elbows from the top as well. I mean, was that something that you pride yourself on? Is that something that you've increased recently?
Yeah, I think that's something that Coach Safe has kind of really instilled in all of us, is just like ground and pound. Like, really, like, nobody really does it, and it's just like being that, just violence of action. And, you know, that's the Sandpage way. You just got to, like, pour it on them and just not stop and keep going. So, yeah.
And then last thing for me, if you could further explain the beef with DC and the fuel that you carried, it seems, in your soul when you walked out there, driving you. So talk a little bit about that. And was that something that you're hoping to get that win, that you could get in there and talk with him afterwards?
Yeah, I've had like a couple dreams about that over the past couple years. Man, that really hurt. Like whenever I had that fight with Tisha, I remember rewatching that fight a few times, and DC said I quit, or I was a quitter. And man, I carried that with me for a few years now, and I'm just like, I'm not a quitter. If anything, like, I've never quit at anything in my whole life. So I've just kind of carried that chip on my shoulder, and I was like, man, eventually I'm going to, like, bring that up to him and talk to him about it. But I didn't want it to come across like as me to being a jerk or anything like that, but I was just like, I need to address this, and I need just to squash it and move on, because I respect the hell out of DC. DC is like, I mean, he's in the Hall of Fame for a reason, you know, and he's a great person. So, yeah, I just wanted to squash that, so.
And if there's ever anything that you need confidence, you backed him down right there. Did you see him? He kind of was like, took a step back, and he's a former double champ, you know, so I think you got his number right now.
I hope so.
Congrats on the victory.
Thanks, sir.